Oh no. Can you guys hear me now? Oh, how embarrassing. I think I had this whole stream muted for how long? Guys, I start up at the top of the chat and I work my way down. So, I've got this much of screen of the top of the the chat, and then I have to scroll down. So, pardon me. Oh, how embarrassing. Can you guys see I'm blushing? Okay. Whew. Man, I was going on forever there, guys. And, okay. Man, where do I start? Well, I'm not going to do all that all over again, guys. Greetings, everybody. Tomahawk is here. Good to see you. Artiford, good to see you. Everybody listen to Mr. Artiford. Smash the like button or explode it by the looks of things. Who else? John Doe. Yes, John Doe. I just went into some long chat about the song Drunken Sailor. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Of course, it's weird repeating myself now, but yes, it is a song. I think it's called a sea shanty, something like that. Yeah, all about drunken sailors. Kevin, good to see you. Who else we got here? Angel Does It from Oregon. Hopefully I'm not repeating myself now, and you guys have heard this bit, but welcome, Angel Does It. Whispering Vines, good to see you. I think I'm just going to jump to the end of the chat now, guys and gals, so we don't do that again. Okay. Kevin, howdy. Okay, guys, yeah. Good news. Very good news. I understand that it is a holiday weekend. I only found out last night that it's a holiday weekend. Of course, all sorts of weird things could happen in the world, and I may not know about it, which for the most part is good. So hopefully you guys are having a good weekend, and I guess for a lot of people it's a long weekend. You may have family and so on. So I appreciate you watching the stream. And the good news is it's a short video today. I think it's about 18 or 20 minutes, guys. It's I would say it's a little bit lackluster, but I can't hit it out of the ballpark all the time, so to speak. Okay. Oregon Shire crew. Good one. Okay, new start of the chat, lol. Yeah, guys. Okay. John Doe, no work tomorrow. Man, I remember what that used to feel like, having long weekends or holidays. Yeah. It's really unfortunate that so many people have to go through life, doing the 5-day week thing, just constantly dreaming and wishing for Friday. Think about the years spent just trying to get through the week so you can get to Friday, to your weekend. That's a lot of years spent just trying to get to the end of the week. Okay, so guys, what I think we'll do, since I made a big boo-boo and have don't want to embarrass myself anymore, let's just start the video. And for those of you that want to hang out afterwards, we'll be hanging out after the video, chit-chatting, and we'll see how long that goes. But thank you for hanging out. Man, it's dark in here, and looks like there's some clouds coming over. Okay, let's do this. Hopefully I've got everything lined up. Really good to see everybody. And for those of you that perhaps are new to the stream and don't know what all these weirdos are doing or talking about, basically what I do during the week is I shoot some video of my life up here on a mountain, living off-grid with, very little. And I just sort of catalog what I do. Nothing super exciting. Well, sometimes it can be. But, and then I'll play the video during the stream. If you have any comments or anything you want to say, any questions, constructive criticism over what you see, please feel free to, say something in chat. I watch chat, and I'll try and reply. If your question makes sense, that is. So, let's go. Okay. Stream. Let's go. Let me know, guys, once the video is rolling, if audio is good. Hopefully it's good. Well, folks, it is 9 p.m. and I've just got home a little after 9 p.m. actually, and apologies for the low light footage. I thought I'd capture this. We got the girls over there, and I have let's just say we have a new master for the girls. I call it a rooster in a box. Some friends of mine a few hours away were kind enough to give me a rooster. They gave me a frozen rooster and a rooster that is alive. So I would have liked to do this during daylight hours so we could have got everybody acquainted and used to each other. But it just didn't work out that way, so don't really want to introduce new birds to one another in the dark, since they're pretty much blind. Chickens are pretty much blind in the evening, so everybody's excited. The dogs know something's going on. Hello, lady. I missed her. I'm just so used to saying ladies. There he is, young rooster. And let's just say, I haven't quite made up my mind yet. This is actually intended for a meal, not as a partner necessary for the girls, but we shall see how things go. And of course, I'm sure as soon as it starts crowing at 4 a.m. in the morning and 3 a.m. in the morning, I'll probably have to dispatch it. Or not. I don't know. Anyways, that's the excitement for the evening. You can see the boys are very excited. Hey guys. I don't want to I think we shall leave Rooster in the box. It's had a long journey. It's been in that box for a couple hours. So I think I don't know if I want to put it in the coop with the girls. I think the girls will be freaked out all evening with a new young man in the coop. So I think we will just let Mr. Rooster be for now, and we'll leave the coop door closed, and we'll revisit this little scenario tomorrow morning. Okay, ladies, are you ready for this? Oh boy. Okay, you guys have been eyeballing each other for several hours now through the door. So, a little familiarity, but so far, okay. Nobody's attacking anyone. Of course, this rooster is used to having ladies hang around. He came from an area, a coop, that had a lot of girls, so shouldn't be too unfamiliar to him. We'll let everybody get acquainted, and then I think a little cleaning here is in order. It's that time of the week. We need to give things a little rake and clean out. Ha! I'm making the boys work today. Here comes the troops. Our ranger taking first position, and Mr. Choose Everything coming in second. Good job, boys. Looks like we may have some weather on the way. Well, I thought I'd just take this opportunity to get some frustrations worked out, you know. You know, sometimes when you're feeling like you want to perhaps throat punch a tree or something, it's best just to kind of take out those frustrations in a more mature way. Right, doggos? You agree with me? We'll get our workout in. Okay, party's over. Let's do that with one hand. Let's go! Coyote poop, coyote poop. Like I was saying, it's all over. Yep, the seasons are changing. Did I just miss something? Probably just the buzzing in my ears from the clippers. I'm sure everything's fine. Not you. You can't go in there. Hi, chickens. What time is it? Does anybody know what time it is? It's cucumber time! Woo! Look at this huge cucumber out of the garden, guys. Because I'm feeling generous, and I know the gals love some cucumber. Well, it's also been hot, so we're going to treat them to some delicious cucumber. Oh, sorry. I just stood on your... As I treat you with cucumber, I stand on your claw. As you can see, yes, there is a rooster. He's been okay-ish so far. Okay. You get a cucumber. No, yeah, it's in my hand. Oh. Who else wants cucumber? You get a cucumber. Who wants a cucumber? Delicious. It's the watermelon of foods. For chickens. I don't know, I just made that up. Who wants a cucumber? Cucumber for you. Oh, look at that. Cucumbers. Who wants cucumbers? Delicious cucumbers. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cucumbers on a nice hot day for the girls. Okay, that's my good deed for the day. Well, that looks like yellow smoke. That's definitely not yellow clouds, yellow smoke over there, guys. Oh boy. Let's get a little higher and see what we can see. Well, as usual, Mr. Choose-A-Lot, who decided to disappear early on, eventually appears on his own time, you know, doing his own thing. You know, he's not really into, you know, taking orders from anyone or listening to anyone. Who else do I know like that? Anyways, guys, yeah, we're up at this is what I like to call my gym. This is where we do gym, but thought I'd come up here and maybe get a better perspective on this fire. And we can see smoke. Hopefully you guys can see it right over there. See smoke over there too. So, I don't know. Wind typically comes from that direction and moves from the west, moves to the east. That's the prevailing winds around here. So whatever's typically there is here, and well, here is where my gym is and home. So we shall have fingers crossed this evening. That's wolf scat, wolf poo. No ranger. Nope. I've seen a lot of coyote poop, but lately. That's Wolf. So, Ranger. Hey, buddy. Yeah, dogs have been a little ornery lately. I woke up to find a trash bag that had been shredded. My fault, I hung it up on the fence, thinking it would be out of, dog height. And Mr. Booger chews on everything over here. He just shredded everything, and, everything in that trash. It was everywhere. Bits of plastic. The bag was just little chunks, like 1 or 2 inch chunks of bag, and everything in it was chewed up. Along with my gloves, I found my only pair of work gloves too in the mix. He had got those too. I'd left them hanging up on the fence as well. So obviously he gets up into the fence if there's anything hanging, and he'll pull it down. Yeah, Mr. Scott is turning out to be a real pain in the rear. Oh, we got you some deer trail. Got any nice seats? Any nice seats for me to sit down on? A good view. Oh, it's pretty rotted, but I think it'll work. There's Mr. Scott. Yeah, so I did start my haircut early on. I didn't finish it, so I probably look like some kind of weirdo in the woods right now. We'll finish it up. Finish the cutting tomorrow. As usual, my clippers always run out of batteries. I don't think I've mentioned, but my van has a severe oil leak somewhere on the oil cooling line that goes up into the radiator. Have a severe leak at the top of that hose, and so when I discovered the leak in town, I bought some oil and limped it back home. By the time I got home, there was little to no oil left in, and I topped up the oil before I left town once I realized there's an issue. So I've got enough oil to get me back into town at some point when I figure out what I'm going to do. So the van's down. We've got fires looming. I do see a bit of yellowing over there, and that's the direction the helicopter was in, heading to this morning and dumping water. So this looks like something new that's possibly flared up this late afternoon, early evening. It's almost 8 p.m. right now. Yeah, the concerns, the downside of living in the woods in fire season, you're constantly concerned when there's smoke, or you smell smoke or see smoke. It's not uncommon this time of the year to have smoke in the skies. You kind of get used to it, but when it starts getting close to you, or it's just what appears to be a couple ridge lines away from you, and you're seeing helicopters fly overhead dumping water, it's always a bit of a concern. So we shall see what happens in the few days coming ahead. I don't know, I've been in a little bit of a funk the last few days, with the van being down, and then I thought I had a little bit of funds built up to have Scout fixed. That's a bit of a concern. I need to get him fixed because he's very much unruly, and I'm having problems with him. Not that him being denutted is going to solve the issue, but I think it'll help somewhat. He needs to chill down, and Then it was the forks, the forks for my snowmobile had to happen next, and then of course now the van has an issue. So it's not one thing, it's another, you know. Or when it rains, it pours. Actually, some rain right now would be good. We could do with a good pour. Looking at the horizon. Yep. Anyways, I think I'm going to work some of my frustrations out again with perhaps, you know, doing some push-ups and sit-ups. I'm hurting a little bit from yesterday's push-ups and sit-ups, or the day before. But, you know, we'll find a constructive way to work through my my funk. Don't worry, I won't put you through it. Anyways, that's the update. Okay, I feel better now. Let's go home. You boys ready? Take it easy, guys and girls. And we're back. I think, hopefully we're back, guys. Let me know in chat if you can hear me. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully you can hear me this time and I don't talk for 10 minutes without, you know, while I'm muted. Guys. That was funny. I'm sure it's not the, well, it's not the first time. And it's definitely not the last time. Anyways, where are we? Good. Thank you, Mr. Gas. Yeah, so while we were sitting there, while I was sitting watching the stream with you guys, the video, I could hear thunder going on. And usually when you hear thunder this time of the year and it's not raining, it's never a good thing because, you know, with thunder comes lightning, and it's lightning that causes a lot of fire starts in this part of the world. So yeah, fingers crossed we don't have anything new popping up now after that batch of thunder. Yeah, so that video, the end of that video was shot yesterday, and we still have smoke in the skies. I'm not, I actually haven't checked the fire map today. There appears to be less smoke in the direction you guys saw. But I'm going to check this after the stream and see where we're at, what the updates are. But as far as I know, nothing imminent yet. I'm listening to more thunder right now. Joys. Anyways. What did I miss over here? I think you guys were talking about... Yeah, John Doe, as long as you can escape. Well, you never know. I just need to be on it. I can only... Worst case scenario, if I don't have a lot of time, it's... I have a grab bag with pretty much just important documents. And I go. And there's nothing... Everything else stays, worst case scenario. It's literally a couple backpacks. Doggos... A few other odds and ends, and if I can get a few things in the little cart on behind the quad, there's a few other things I'll just throw in there and go. You know, if there's very little that I can do. It's not like I can move most of my stuff out of here on a short notice. It's grab what I can either on the quad or on my back. What else? Mr. Artiford, throne for a king. Not sure what you mean there. I don't. It's not the transmission line, guys. It's a metal hose that comes up from underneath the engine, all metal, and then it does a 90-degree turn into the radiator. So there's an elbow with some kind of gasket seal, and then a which is in a nut, which then threads into part of the radiator. So I believe it's an oil cooling line, and it's just a constant drip when the motor's running. It's just a constant drip out of there. It looks like it's where the seal is on that metal line, where it elbows into the radiator. So that's what I can see. So we'll have to figure out. I'm listening to more thunder now and maybe rain, guys. I don't see rain clouds though. Strange. I apologize. Okay. Yeah, I actually have a picture of it, guys. I'm going to figure out a way to maybe share the picture, and you'll see what I'm talking about as far as the hose, what hose it is. Well, it sounds like hail. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Strange. Sorry guys, I'm completely distracted by the sound of hail on my roof and thunder. Anyways, it's pretty loud. Let me close the window. Okay, confirmed. It's not hail, it's rain. Okay, where was I? No, I'm gonna have to get my glasses. Where are the glasses? Feel a little discombobulated, folks. Sorry about that. Ha! I can see clearly now. As soon as I get rid of the dust, that is. I think I've mentioned I literally live in a dust bowl. No matter what I do to keep the dust out, it doesn't stay out. You know, these two dogs romp around most hours of the day directly in front of the cabin, kicking up plumes of dust. And so it's just a battle right now. Everything I put my finger on has a layer of dust. So hopefully the computer fan keeps on running. It's looking pretty dusty in the computer. It has a glass face on the side, and every time I look in there, it's just dust. So I'm going to have to open it up and give it a good dusting inside there before it dies on me. Okay, I can see clearly now, guys. Yeah, definitely not transmission. Definitely not transmission, guys. Rained here today. Angel does it. Good, sound good. Angel does it. Thanks for sharing, OGW. Sound is good. Okay. OGW, you do have thunderstorms nearby with rain. Sir, are you watching? Are you? I'm just going to contact you, Tomahawk, when I need a weather update. Thank you. So the garden is producing great, Mr. Artiford. I have my green tomatoes are going well, and the beets are everything's looking good. So the cucumbers I'm eating as they come off. I'm pretty much eating them, and some do go to the chickens, as you guys saw. It's the tomatoes I'm really excited for, and then following the beets. I'm going to leave the beetroot for as long as possible, and I'll grab them before winter. You know, beets are pretty hardy and in the ground, so I'll grab them probably much later, maybe even end of September. Okay. Kevin, oil cooler. No, it's definitely the oil cooler line. I can see the drips from that elbow, where it comes up and then elbows into the radiator. That elbow has a gasket. It has like a little coupler. It has a gasket, and then it has a thread. So I believe where that little, it's a blue gasket is, I can see it. It's just constant dripping when the motor runs. Yeah, I have the mini camper to bug out in. Well, the mini camper is still surrounded by woods right now. So it's down at the bottom of the valley, actually. Tomahawk, rain means more water for your barrels. Oh yeah, I'm not complaining. Rain is good, and right now for fires in the area, it's good. My concern is I don't really see a lot of rain clouds. I don't think it's going to be a big downpour or a sustained downpour, from what I can see. But I'll take it. We need rain, as much rain as possible this time of the year. And I'm definitely getting down in the rain barrels. I'm almost done on. I've almost emptied my second 50-gallon water barrel. So after that, there's 2 more 50s left, and then the large tote. So I should be okay-ish to get to winter and when everything freezes. Sounds like just a seal, not expensive. Yeah, Kevin, I'm going to look at some videos, do a bit of research, and see how I can decouple. Because, like I say, there's the threaded part, and then where the elbow is, it looks like some kind of knuckle with a seal. I can see a blue type of seal. So I'm not quite sure how to get those apart or what I need to do. So I'll look into it and see if it's something I can do. Sounds like just a seal, not expensive. Yeah, okay, got that one. Have you tried to tighten it just to make sure it has not come loose? I don't know how to actually tighten the seal part of it. I put a wrench on the nut, the threaded section that goes into the radiator manifold at the top, and that is tight. But I can see the actual leak is coming from where this knuckle has this kind of seal before the thread. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So yeah, still need to do a little more research into it. Tomahawk, or is it the connector that is leaking? I need to share a picture with you guys, and I'll show you exactly what the thing is, but I don't want to take the time to do it now because I'll be fuffing about for a little bit. Let me try. Okay, bear with me, guys. See how I can do this. I think I'll just share the link to my YouTube channel. There's a section where I put posts, share pictures, and so on. If you look on that post section on the YouTube channel, I'm going to post that image of where the issue is. So bear with me. Let's do that. No, Google. No, I don't want to use AI. No, YouTube. No, these guys keep on asking me if I want to use AI. The answer is always the same. No. Okay, I just posted it to my channel, guys. If you look at the posts section on my channel page, you will see an image of it. I'm not quite sure how to share the link. Can I share the link? I apologize for the silence and me being distracted right now. Let's see if I can pull it up. So if you go view channel and then to posts, it should be there. Can I share this? Okay, I'm gonna quit right now. Yeah, so if you guys can find it, I can see you post on YouTube. All right. I'm not going to fiddle around and try and figure out how to share it live from my phone right now, guys. So apologies for me being distracted with this, but there you go. Okay, you guys can see. So if you look at that photograph, you will see that there's what looks like some kind of blue gasket or blue O-ring. That's where the leak's coming from, not the thread. That threaded section is tight. It's that blue gasket where the drip is. Yes, Tomahawk, blue gasket. I'm not quite sure what I need to what tools I need, and if I have them. I should have basic tools. So I need to look at what things cost. Okay, wow. Thanks for the help, guys. Any advice will be appreciated. Easy to fix that, OGW. Okay. Well, Tomahawk, how about I just reach out to you on that other social media platform, and if you got any advice or heads up, or any of you guys, just let me know. Let's not discuss it now, though. I'm sure there's a lot of folks that probably aren't interested in mechanics. Anyways, what else we got? Did I miss anything else here, guys? How long have we been going? So it sounds like the rain is over now, but I can still hear some thunder. Oh. Well, that was good. A little downpour. Some is better than nothing. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to grab some water. It was pretty hot today. It's still warm in the cabin here. I think I should open some windows. Be right back, as they say. So I wish this was a Berkey, but it's the next best thing. This is what I use for most of my water. I haul my water from a well. Not my well, somebody else's well. I haul water, and then I typically put it through this Alexa Pure. But one of those Berkeys would be nice. I did hear that there's some controversy over the Berkey and what Berkey was claiming they were doing, or the purity of their water. There was some controversy at some point, but I never really looked into it since I don't own one. Oh, wow. That cup still had coffee in it. I've got a nice watery coffee mix right now, but at least it's cool. Okay. Hey, Angel Does It. Thank you. Did I miss you heading out? You have a good holiday, a good one with your family, and we'll see you next time. What did we miss here? Hotel Alpha. Haha. Just dropping by to say hello. Did I miss the new video? Yes, you did. Of course, it is recorded and it's permanent on the interwebs. For those of you that think things can be deleted from the internet, most of it can't be. So, but yeah, you can always go back and review it. Haha. Good to see you. Thanks for swinging in. Tomahawk, I like your new haircut. Yeah, it's what I call a multiple day haircut. It took me 2 days to get it to this point. I put the final touches on just before the stream was starting. You know, I was out there. I had a shower because, like I said, it's been super hot the last few days. And so I got my shower done and, you know, we'll cut my hair, trimmed it. You know, I really do care about my presentation for you guys on this stream. You know, I like to look my best. I'm just kidding. Yeah. But it did take me 2 days to get it to this point. I don't even want to look at the back. Usually I don't care about the back because, I just go by feel. I can't really see what I'm doing at the back. So I'm sure it looks probably a little weird. Look into zero water pitcher filter, the best. Zero water pitcher. I'll do that, Angel. Does it? The water that I actually get, it is great water. It probably doesn't even need to be filtered. I guess I just do it because I do it. But the people that I get this water from, they're a large extended family, and they've been drinking their well water forever. And everybody's healthy and doing fine. I really probably don't need to put it through a filter, but I do anyways. So bad timing on my van going down because I really do. In a couple days here, I need to haul drinking water, so that'll be fun to figure out. I don't see me having anything resolved in a couple days. And then there's dog food. I know the boys are going to run out of food probably Tuesday at the latest. I'm already sort of cutting down on their food. I'd plan to get to town on, Monday at least, but that ain't happening. So we shall see what happens. Yepers. These are princess problems, of course, guys. These aren't complaints. Wow, I really can't see when I take these glasses off. Surprised how quick my eyesight deteriorated. I had no problem reading before winter started last year and going into winter. And it's almost like I came out of winter, springish. I started noticing that it was difficult to read. So I'd say in like a 3-4 month period, I went from fun to why can't I read anything? Okay, what did I miss? Mr. Artiford, I made my own water purifier with Berkey filters. Look up Boss of the Swamp. He has a couple vids on how to. Okay. Tomok, no, not your haircut. Haircut on the other site. Lol. I'm missing. What did I miss there? Like your. Hang on. Tomok. Did I miss something here, guys? Yes. I don't know, Tomok. Let me know what I'm missing. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm kind of a special needs guy. I need things explained clearly. Monday, nothing will be open in town. Yeah, well, I just learned that last night, guys. I don't know if I mentioned. I think at the beginning of the stream, I mentioned how I had no idea Monday or we're in a vacation. I don't know if that was muted or I actually told you guys that. Yeah. I just found out it's a holiday weekend. Oh. Okay. Are you referring to somebody else's haircut on other sites? Okay, you're not talking about me. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Okay, guys, what else is going on? I think we don't have any more good questions. We might call it an evening. It's 7:04 now. We've only been going for an hour. That's it. Man, usually we go for at least 2 hours. Are you talking about another channel? Tomahawk. I hear Ranger's outside busy whining. He's by now figured out that I'm talking to myself and that he probably wants to come in here and get straight up on the streaming bench. Yep. Okay, so right. I got your tomahawk. I'll reach out to you on there, and if you guys have any ideas or recommendations what I can do with the issue and what tools I'm gonna need. I haven't looked deeply into it. I kind of saw the problem and then walked away. Sometimes that's how I deal with problems. I see them and then I walk away and I mull over it for 2 or 3 days until, I decide to go and do something about it. Or I mull over it for 2 or 3 months or more before I decide to do anything about it. Kevin, so how's the wood supply? Get it all processed or still getting more? Kevin, I think I'm good with winter wood. It's all about splitting it now. I have half of it split and the other half yet to be split. And I have to haul a little more wood. During the video today, you saw me doing a little bit of hauling. Well, I still have more on that pile. That needs to be hauled to the cabin, thrown over the fence. And then I've got a whole bunch of chunks that need to be split. And I have like I don't know, maybe about a 25-foot chunk of tamarack or western larch that's still a full length that I need to cut and split. So primarily a little bit of cutting still and then mostly splitting. And I think we're going to be good with all the wood that I have. Of course, that said, Kevin, you can never have enough wood. So once I've done all of this, if I spot a tree or something dead standing that's convenient and easy for me to get and process, I will still process it. Firewood for me is like having, gold in the bank. Actually, no. Who cares about banks? Banks aren't good places to hold money or gold. Lots of firewood is like having lots of gold and silver underneath your bed. So yes, I've got enough, I believe, but I may grab some more if I see more. Maybe it's best just to call me Hotel Alpha so nobody can get confused with haha. Yeah. I think we just call you haha. How about that? I think we're going with haha, okay? Everybody take note. Hotel Alpha is just haha. We'll go with that. Kevin stole my thunder. Did I miss something here? Okay. Yeah, Kevin, I don't know if I missed you early on, but you said you're playing with chainsaws this week. And I think I asked you if you're cutting firewood. I didn't see your answer. Are you also in the firewood cutting phase right now? Yeah, I mean, I think I've mentioned this before, guys. I probably need about a cord and a half of firewood to get through winter. And that's me being, I'm not a big, I don't need to be toasty warm all the time. I often let it get cold in here to the point where I dress up. I wear jackets and sweater pants and thick socks in here before I light a fire. I don't need to feel like I'm, a toasty baby in a crib all the time. And of course, it's very easy because this cabin is so small. It's very easy to cook myself out. Most evenings when I have a fire going, I have to crack windows. I have a fairly large window right next to my bed. My window where I sleep is right at right here at body height. So I just turn my head and I'm looking out a window. And I often have that cracked right at my head because it gets so hot in here. Okay, good point, Hotel Alpha, Hotel Alpha. We'll call you whatever you want to. Let me know. Let me know what you guys decide. Look back on chat. Kevin, I've been cutting recently. Okay, Mr. Artifit, I got to look back on chat. Are you referring to me? Something you said? Oh, okay, I got you. Sorry, Mr. Artifit. Where are we? Okay, I got that one. The shock is a priority. The van gets you to the shock. Dang it. I'll look again. What snow go you got? Oh. I've got I think it's a 2007 Polaris Dragon. It's the 700. So 2007 Polaris. Is it a red dragon? I don't know what snowmobile I got. No, it's a Polaris Red Dragon. Yeah, 2007. Okay, where are we? Hopefully I got, is that what you're referring to, Mr. Artiford? Last night it was 47 degrees here. We had to use some firewood already. My gosh, already, Tomahawk. I forget you're on the East Coast, the East Coast up north. Interesting. I don't think you're much, I don't think you're that further north than I am, but interesting. Yeah, things up here typically start changing around September, I would say, as far as temperature drops. It can go pretty fast or pretty slow. Who knows? But September we start to experience, the temperature drops. I think the shocks are like Walker Evans. They're Walker Evans shocks, yeah. Kevin, getting cold here at night recently. Very odd for late August. Sorry, Kevin, I forget where you are. You're not up north. You're further south, aren't you? 70 degrees in South Carolina, 9:15 p.m. 70 degrees. That's not too bad. That's quite nice, Mr. Gas. Yeah. Kevin, Indiana. Okay, gotcha. Never been to Indiana. Been to South Carolina, though. Several times back in the day. Yeah, I think I've mentioned before, ideally, if I had to go anywhere after here, it would probably be Alaska, along the coastline, Ketchikan and northern Ketchikan, anywhere on that southern coastline, I think would be a nice spot to move to. I'd originally planned to actually move there before I came out to Montana. And I was essentially looking for work in both places. And the first opportunity that came up was here in Montana. So that's how I ended up here. But it could have quite easily ended up, somewhere in Alaska, and well, I'd be there now, probably doing something similar to what I'm doing now. But the other place was down in Kentucky, the Appalachia area, Southern Appalachians. That area appeals to me too. That was actually, like kind of a third option for me. The only thing is, I think out there, you're likely to end up, no matter where you are, dealing with people or weekend warriors, and there's a lot of larger cities down there with people traveling over weekends and holidays. So I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Kentucky, Southern Appalachians can get busy depending on the time of the year. But it is an area I'd like to investigate a little bit more. From what I understand, the ability to grow, the soil is really good anywhere in the Appalachians. Ability to grow, longer seasons, longer growing seasons. That really is the biggest problem this far north, guys. Dreaming of being able to, be as self-sufficient as possible and grow your own food, it can be quite limiting in these northern latitudes. Of course, I've seen people do it, and people do it, even in Canada and the Yukon, but your grow seasons are so short, and of course you need to have water. I know that's kind of an obvious one, but as you guys know, I do collect my rainwater. So having to depend on rainwater and being this far north really makes it challenging to be super successful with growing your own food. I have to keep things really small, and there's things I can do to kind of grow the operation and catch more water. But it's definitely challenging being this far north with, no water wells of your own. Uh, 88 in CA. I forget where in Hotel Alpha. I forget where in CA you are. You don't have to be specific, but are you in northern or southern? I mean, we've been having days in the 90s here just recently. The last few days have all been in the 90s. I have noticed though the mornings and evenings are getting cooler. So it's starting to do the trend, and then of course in September we'll really start seeing movement in temperature. Wyoming, Utah, Oklahoma. Yeah, well, Oklahoma is another spot. I'm forgetting that region in. Is it in Oklahoma? Not Ozarks. I've heard a lot of good things, and I've seen some things happening in the Ozarks lately. Well, they have been for a long time, but there's some stuff going on now. But the Ozarks seem like a good place too. I guess that might be like a fourth for me. Alaska sucks, Tomahawk. OGW, you are 1.5 latitude lines above me. 1.5 degrees. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. Tomahawk, Alaska sucks, at least while being in the army and living there, lol. Well, I mean, a lot of things suck in the army, Tomahawk. Let's be real. Let's be real. Mr. Gas, the Blue Ridge Mountains are God's country. Yeah, from what I've seen, Mr. Gas, the Blue Ridge, I've seen a lot of pictures and videos. It is a region that I've looked at, like seriously. And I think the type of people down there I could probably get along with, fairly well. NorCal, got your Hotel Alpha. Angel Desert Bay Area. Oh, you're talking to Hotel Alpha? Hell no, not Bay Area. Yeah, I went to, I was in San Francisco, I don't know, late 20s. And it's not a place I ever plan on visiting again. And this is a while back. I'm sure it's worse now, but I kind of went and did the tourist thing. I walked around the famous little neighborhoods with the steep hills, and went down and smelt the seals down on the waterfront where all the shops are, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Not an area. Bay Area is not any place I'd want to settle. Well, nowhere in California, actually. But we won't get into that chat on this channel. I don't want to upset Californians. If you get me going, I'll lose all the Californian subscribers. Guys, it's fine where you are. Just stay there. It's absolutely fine. You don't need to go anywhere. Just stay there. Okay, you definitely don't want to come to northern Montana or the Pacific Northwest. Just stay where you are. I know there's great places over there. Just please don't leave. Okay, let's see if I get any hate now. Okay, what else we got going here? Tomahawk, I've been in all 50 states traveling with my grandparents and their camper, and I've lived in 5 states. What's your favorite, Tomahawk, where you're at now? Is there any ideal spot besides Costa Rica that you'd like to be? Yeah, let's talk about ideal places. I'd love to hear from you guys. What are your ideal places to live? I'm assuming I'm going at this from sort of a not necessarily off grid, but a rural. If you tell me New York City, it's not going to count, guys. Okay, let's look at this from a sort of a freedom-loving, big open spaces, rural living aspect. What would your ideal places be? Tomahawk, yes, upstate New York is where I came back to and stayed. Gotcha. I'm not too familiar with upstate New York, Tomahawk. I did travel up the Hudson River several years ago. I don't quite remember where we turned around, but we got past the big, I forget the military academy, West Point. We cruised past West Point and then some, and we stayed at a few small towns and then went back down the Hudson to New York. So I didn't get too far up, so I can't really speak to upstate New York. I'm guessing very green and nice. I have spent a bit of time in New York City, and that's another weird place. Angel does it. New Zealand. Yeah, I've seen some great stuff in New Zealand. Pretty wild, spectacular scenery. Dense, green, lush. Pretty amazing. I think it's a good kept secret, Tomahawk. It is not New York City. Yeah, no, I understand that, Tomahawk. Upstate is not New York City. I get that. A Whispering Vine Studio, the area I'm in now, or northern Idaho. Okay, gotcha. Northern Idaho is pretty nice. I like northern Idaho. The only problem with northern Idaho in recent years is its popularity. I've seen small towns and not so small towns in northern Idaho just absolutely explode in population. And I'm sorry, but a lot of those folks who left California have moved up to northern Idaho. So I've seen the population explode in some small Idaho towns, and of course, the municipalities love it because it grows the tax base, and everybody, mayors and everybody else, get larger salaries when the population grows. But mostly the locals aren't too happy. But it's still a good place. There's still great places to find in northern Idaho and Pacific Northwest in general. Even Washington State has some beautiful, spectacular areas in the Pacific Northwest. As long as you are on the eastern side, you're good. It's unfortunate. The Washington coastline, especially up at the top before you get into Canada, is quite beautiful. But, they've also had a lot of movement from cities and, a lot of people buying anything that's affordable is no longer affordable. Okay, we got that one. Tomahawk. Our country has 350 working farms. Nice. That's good to see. I like that. That's always a great indicator. Small working farms are nice to see. I love where I live, upstate South Carolina, but there are way too many people moving here. Yeah, I think that's what I understand about the Carolinas in general. It is a spot where people move to and have been for years. And you've got a lot of large cities, metropolitan areas along the East Coast, all the way down the East Coast, large cities. And when they have issues, they all move out to, the areas around those cities. Twin Falls area, Idaho. Twin Falls. I don't think I've been down to Twin Falls. Angel does it. I may have driven past a few. St. Mary's. St. Mary's is actually very nice. I've been through St. Mary's several times and cruised around. I think I grabbed something to eat there probably about a year ago and walked a very small section of Main Street, St. Mary's. Big logging and forestry country. A lot of forestry works. Mr. Gasgas, more people moving to South Carolina per U-Haul rentals. Yeah, sorry, mate. It's happening, as people move out. I got to watch what I say now, but as things change in large U.S. cities and people can no longer tolerate crime, quite often their option is to just move and leave. And they have to go somewhere, and they typically don't go to other cities. They are fed up and they want to go somewhere small. So we shall see how that works out over the next 10, 15 years. So, yeah. My ideal place doesn't... I was wondering if anybody would... well, I guess Angel did mention New Zealand. I should have been specific. Anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. I think one place that does interest me is the Georgia, USA. Georgia and Russian Caucasus. This is a very interesting area with a very long history of peoples and movements. But if you look at the Russian Caucasus or Georgian Caucasus, just beautiful, majestic mountains with, rural villages, people still living up in the mountains, a lot of people still herding goats, just very steep, majestic towns nestled at high altitudes in the valleys. Everything from dense green lush vegetation to kind of arid dry areas. It's an area that really fascinates me. And I think the idea of living somewhere like that is not quite hooked into this Western civilization, places like that appeal to me. But yeah, I think it's... Whoa. Hang on, guys. Hang on, I'll be back. What is going on here? Oh, joys. I'm not even going to deal with it right now. Like I mentioned before the stream, I took a shower and silly me, I hung all my clothing up on the fence line because I shower outside and I derobed, hung all my clothing on the fence line, And I just walked outside now to see all my clothing, every bit of item of clothing I took off is on the ground in wet, muddy, because everything's wet, and the dust outside is now dirty mud, and all my clothing have been dragged around the garden. I just saw muddy clothing in various places, so good times. Okay, where are we? Oh yeah, so I was talking about the Russian-Georgian Caucasus, mountainous region. Very interesting historically, and just wild and untamed still to this day. Tiny villages nestled in the mountains. That really appeals to me. Oh, Belize, yeah. Well, the tropics appeals to me too, you know. Yeah, Costa Rica is a good place. I know folks who've retired, Americans who retired to Costa Rica. Those who can afford it, it's probably one of the better places to retire to. You know, if you have a chunk of change in retirement, you can live pretty well in a place like Costa Rica. Canadians, a lot of retired Canadians head down to Costa Rica too, the coastlines. There's small towns, small little villages dotted along the Costa Rican coastline. And you can do pretty well on if you're a couple and you're retired and you have a good retirement, you can live a good, safe life down there. But yeah, I think as far as the states go, definitely the Pacific Northwest, the northwest corner of Montana is still good. Ozarks, maybe somewhere along the Appalachians, still good. Okay, what else did I miss here? Yeah, I mean, the amount of small farms in the US now, mom and pop farms, are just getting less and less. A lot of them just being bought up by corporations. And then quite often they take on, if the farmer doesn't sell completely, they'll stay on as managers. But it's really sad to see a lot of the large farms just being sold to corporations and families having to get out of the business. It's deceptive with farming in the US because, quite often, I know there's a lot of farmers that do well for themselves, but quite often that large equipment, $500,000, $1 million equipments and combines and all that, are quite often not really owned by the farmer. They're leased, or there's a massive payments on them, and really farming is all about just staying on top of the game. A bad crop can really wipe one out, and especially when you leverage so deep, like so many farmers, US farmers are, with equipment, mortgaged equipment, and so on. It's tough, and it's getting tougher. So it's great. I love traveling the States in these small areas where you have a lot of small mom and pop farmers, people doing home crafts. That's the sort of thing that's still good to see. I love small town America. That's really where it's at. I think we've discussed this before, but so many towns in the US are becoming, looking the same. You have a small town which has character, and then as it develops out on the outskirts of the town, they build, the Walmart and, the Kmart. I don't know, is that even still a thing anymore? But all the national box stores, McDonald's and your Burger Kings and your Napas, these all start developing on the outskirts of towns as they grow. So when you're traveling, at least, when I traveled, I noticed I'd get to some small town and I would just hit these boxes, all these national stores. And it's, I could be in any town, anywhere in the USA. It all looks the same. And then you normally have to drive into the center of that town or the old part of town to get a flavor or character of that town, but the outskirts, they all look the same. Mr. Gasgas, OGW, I think you may be a little slow on the take-up, lol. Don't leave stuff out for scat. I know. Guys, you think I would have learnt my lesson by now? After the first few times of my dog absolutely shredding everything that I left out there, I thought I've got into the, okay, don't leave anything of importance out. But, today was a little bit of a, trying to get ready for the stream, and I should be able to hang up my clothing on my clothing line, guys, without my dog destroying it. Yeah, that's true. Mr. Arford, you leave Napa alone. We need parts stores. Yeah, I'm going to need one soon, I think, if I end up doing this work on my own and figuring out what I need. I'll probably have to... I'll probably be heading to the local Napa. Yeah, there's literally only 2 stores in my town that do auto parts, from what I know of. Napa and Car Quest, I think, is the other one. Yep. Strip malls are ugly. They are ugly. Go down to Florida. Strip malls everywhere. Hey guys, I'm going to, as I do, I'm going to shill for the shekels. I've just dumped a link in chat if anybody's able to help out or throw some support my way. It is very much appreciated. You can use that link, and I use that link because it's the fastest way for me to have access to anything you donate. Anything donated on YouTube takes me literally a month to receive. So if you can help, use that link in chat. Thank you, guys. Oh, yeah. Where were we? Yeah, I mean, the tropics is nice. I grew up in the tropics, spent many years in the tropics, Caribbean and so on, as you guys know. It was a great time, many good years, carefree. But, there's upsides and downsides. A lot of the tropics, especially the Caribbean and anywhere in the Gulf, there's hurricane season. I've been through a few hurricanes over the years. That's never any fun. But, I guess every place comes with some issues. You could be in parts of the States where you need to worry about wind, and having to, hide underneath your tables or get into your basements, depending on the time of the year. Of course, up here it's fires. So no matter where you are, there's pros and cons for sure. Mr. Artifit, virtually, cash virtually. What are you referring to, sir? John Doe, drinking rum. Yeah, John Doe, let's just say my early years, I did spend quite a lot of time drinking rum. Of course, as a sailor, often in and then around groups of men with free time, you often do silly things around the alcohol. But I no longer drink. What has it been? About 8 years now. So my rum days, although I can look back at them, and some of them were fun, and then at some point they weren't that fun anymore. I'd say being sober and not drinking is, way better for me. John Doe, I have trouble leaving the Pacific Northwest, trees and mountains. Yeah, I'm actually the same, John Doe. No matter where I go, there needs to be, I like lush green and mountains. Now, it could be lush green tropical and mountains. That would work too. But I think it'd be really, well, I'd never move anywhere where it's flat, like Florida. I think I wouldn't mind having the desert experience. I've never really lived in an arid or semi-arid place. I think a desert experience might be fun, but it may not be me long term. I'm all about new experiences. I'll try anything once. Anyways, I see there are several people on the sidelines listening but not partaking in chat. Thank you for hanging out. Feel free to introduce yourself at any point. We don't bite. Well, Tomahawk might, but we don't. Okay, what else? Did I miss anything here, guys? We're almost at 2 hours, so I think we'll start winding down here. Maybe we've got 20 minutes max. I was going to try and keep these at an hour or an hour and a half, but here we are. So I think we'll go a little bit more, unless you guys don't have any more questions. Because when you guys die, I die, literally. Well, not literally, but you know what I mean. No, don't do the desert. It's terrible and ugly. Okay, you've got to give me a little more than that. Why is it terrible? I can understand ugly. Why would it be terrible? I'm assuming you've done desert then, right? I'm going to expect that you've lived in the desert. Hotel Alpha. Tomahawk, desert sucks, lol. Okay, what else we got here? High desert here in Oregon is dusty and hot. Gotcha. Mr. Gasgas just sent you a little something. Thank you, Mr. Gasgas. Appreciate that. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. John Doe, Tomahawk, you kind of have to be a masochist for desert life. I rode my first camel in the desert of Oregon. Yeah. I have actually ridden a camel. Guys, I've ridden a camel. I spent some short time in Dubai many years ago, and I did some afternoon camel riding. Let's just say that. It was fun. The camel did actually spit at me. So camels will spit at you. Kevin, must have some rain and change of seasons. Yeah, seasons are good. Seasons are nice to have. I was actually having this discussion a while back, maybe about 3 weeks ago with somebody, and we are talking about how we can go into a grocery in the middle of winter and expect to find bananas or bananas. Is it banana or banana? So many of us now, Western man, modern man, we have these expectations. You can go into a grocery store and get bananas and fruits and apples in winter. This is a fairly new thing in the range of mankind. The ability to go and eat a tropical fruit in winter is really quite strange. And I know a lot of us don't think about it, but global commerce, shipping foods and fruits from tropical locations that are experiencing summer and you're in winter is really quite an amazing thing, even though we take it for granted and mostly expect it. But there was a time for most of history and mankind, till relatively recently, we ate seasonally. Our experiences were based on the season. So I can still sometimes, blows my mind, because I guess I'm old-fashioned or living in the past, some may say. But I can appreciate the idea of living seasonally. And I think that's actually, I don't want to get too far in the weeds, guys. I'm not an expert, but I think it's healthier and better for our bodies to live in a seasonal cycle of eating. But who does that nowadays? We can have bananas all year round and craft macaroni and cheese till we fall down. Okay, Did I go off on a tangent there? Oh, I hear a helicopter, guys. Bear with me. Hang on. I hear a helicopter. No, you stay now. You're filthy. Look how dirty you are. No, you stay there, buddy. Okay, never mind. Apologies. I think I might be losing it. Not only am I losing my eyesight, but I'm beginning to hear things, guys. I thought I heard the bup of a heavy lift copter. Okay, where are we? Let me head back on chat over here. Make sure I haven't. Fort. We have some rain and change of seasons. Fort Irwin, California sucks and it's desert. I have no idea where Fort Irwin is. Utah desert has some nice treed areas. Yes, they do have camels to ride in Oregon. They came with the U.S. Army in the mid-1800s. Why did the U.S. Army have to bring camels back? Hotel Alpha, it's terrible because it's hot as hell. There's nothing to do unless you want to hang out with rich and snobby dirt bike riders. And there's no cell reception to the outside world in the desert. Is that a bad thing? I don't have cell reception here. I have mentioned before, guys, that I was more productive when I did not have Starlink. I'm not going to lie. Guys. I was more productive. John Doe, yes, my grandpa said they got oranges maybe once a year. Yeah, I mean, it's a relatively new thing, guys, that we can go buy fruit in the supermarket in winter. Okay, gotcha. Ranger School in Fort Irwin, gotcha, Tomahawk. Mr. Gas, haha, I'm not a snobby dirt bike rider. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of good people in the desert. Society wouldn't survive going back to living with food from seasons. I mean, society wouldn't survive if you took away the internet or social media. I know people that would probably break down and cry if Facebook shut down. John Doe, I want prime rib year-round if I was rich. Oh my gosh, John Doe, really? Guys, let's not start talking about food. I actually haven't eaten all day. True story. Not because I don't have food. It's just that it hasn't crossed my mind, and I'm definitely getting hungry now. So let's not talk about the prime rib, John Doe. Okay, I instantly started salivating when you talked about prime rib. And who knows when I'm going to get back into town. I have about 4 slices of bacon left, and I think 1 pack of ground beef. And a whole ton of rice noodles. I like Jeep, so I want an area to go have some fun as well. Yeah, that sounds good, man. I think I would love to have a nice, maybe like a 250, maybe a 400 at the most, motocross bike, maybe a trials bike. Actually, I'd love to have a trials bike out here. Something I could actually follow deer trails and just go like mow up to the top of these mountains. That would be nice. I'd love to have a two-wheeler up here. just another thing for me to fix because, you know, anything mechanical in my life is constantly breaking down, as you guys know. I really need to up my game in the mechanical thing. I'm going to have to. There's no option. Tomahawk, you have a 92 Bell Huey Minuteman Aviation Inc. flying nearby YOGW. I don't know. I know I heard something. Is a Bell UH-1 a heavy lift? Not, it's I'm not sure what a Bell Huey. So it is a heavy lift. Okay. Sorry, I didn't. I had a blonde moment there. Apologies to anybody in chat who's blonde, but yeah, okay. Yeah, well, that's more than likely a lift, a bag lift. Tomahawk, you're beginning to scare me now. I know I heard something. Yeah, I actually have a lot of air traffic over here that's not listed because I'm so close to the Canadian border. I see stuff flying here at night, flying fast and low. That's not commercial aircraft. So we have all sorts of activity because I'm so close to the Canadian border, and a lot of tail numbers that are just listed as government, and that's it. So weird activities. Yes, a nice enduro bike would be great. Mr. Artifit, I can dream. Right now, I'm just... a boy can dream, you know. It's not the big things that I want, guys. It's just the working things that I need. Yeah, I grew up riding enduros, so very comfortable, and I'm sure I'd be up and going in no time. Kevin, those are used for fire suppression in Forest Service. Okay. I'm going to have to watch what I say around you guys, because you guys are on it. Right. Well, I'm right next to a massive lake, and anytime we have a fire anywhere in this region, this is where they come and dip their bags. Brandon Timperley, hey, new name. Welcome, Brandon. What has been your most dangerous experience that you have encountered? What individual helped to make how you are the most? Oof, that's a good one, Brandon. That's a question I don't believe I've ever had. Dangerous experience. Well, how about we just keep that to kind of the civilian normie lifestyle? And I would say probably being in a storm out at sea, breaking with broken steerage, where you're at the helm, small sailboat, you're out in a storm, middle of the Atlantic, and all of a sudden you have no steering ability. And that was as a young man. That was, I'd say, a dangerous experience. And it was one that was really etched into my into my head, mind. Not that I suffer any trauma from it, but as your question is, what's the most dangerous experience? I would say that's probably one of them. I mean, there's been others that, I don't know, discussing online is probably not where I want to go in this kind of forum. But I think being out at sea and almost that, possibility of dying has been uncomfortable. Individual that has helped make you how you are the most. Oh, that's a real good one. I'm going to say, and I'm going to try not go into the weeds, Brandon, because I know this topic isn't for everybody, and that's fine. I totally understand that. But I would say that finding orthodoxy, Christian orthodoxy, and sitting down with, I'm sharing a lot now, guys. I don't know. Should I share this online? Yeah, it's not bad. It's good. I would say sharing a lot of my burdens and weights that I carried for many years, being able to share that and come clean with a priest, and then have advice and clarity on some of those things, was life-changing for me. And I'd say that's been the most important thing when it comes to individual help to make who you are. I mean, of course, our lives, we're often touched by many people throughout life. I mean, I can go on and on with some pretty insane stories and experiences. But I would say coming into orthodoxy for me, Christian orthodoxy, has been a lifesaver for me, because there are many years in my life where I wasn't an ideal person, and I carried a lot of baggage and weight that I wasn't aware of from when I was a young man, conducting myself. And so being able to come clean and have that lifted off me was huge. And that only happened when I came to orthodoxy. But I won't go into the weeds, Brandon. Thank you for that question. I know it may not be, super exciting as far as dangerous experience, at least is what I want to share. But yeah, hopefully that makes a little sense, Brandon. But thanks for the question. Tomahawk, welcome, Brandon. Gotcha. Kevin, welcome aboard, Brandon. Gas. Okay, you guys are great, man. John Doe. Oh, that would be scary. Yeah. I mean, I'll just quickly say in a nutshell. I've been shot at many times. I've been in knife fights. I've been stabbed 3 times. So, I'm not going to go into details. I'm significantly a different person than what I was once upon a time. And that change really became true in orthodoxy for me. I'll leave it at that. Yes, the Mount St. Helens was an interesting moment. You're talking about the Mount St. Helens when it imploded. You were up north when that happened. I remember seeing footage on that years ago of people who were up there. Was it Skagit Valley or Bellingham? Somewhere fairly near when that happened. That was interesting. Tomahawk, yes. What is everyone's most dangerous experience? Mine was... Oh, I didn't read your question, Tomahawk. That's why Whispering Vines is answering there. Gotcha. Mr. Gasket, that was Big Bang for my 20th birthday, Tomahawk. Gotcha, Kevin. When I was a fireman, roof collapse happening above. I wasn't in fall area, but was close. Man, don't want to be under a roof when it goes down. Tomahawk, my grandparents and I were in the 80-mile kill zone when it erupted. Certainly... Okay, I'm getting off track here, guys. Okay. Well, okay, you're all sharing your experiences there. Gotcha. Did I read that right? Whispering Vines, you were in the St. Helens area. When St. Helens blew its stack. What year was that? Is that 80s? 90s? Okay. What did I miss here? Anything? Okay. What about you, Brandon? You want to share anything? May 18th, 1980. That was St. Helens. Gotcha. Mr. Artifact, positive light people, PPL, people can also be the most giving critters. I'm not sure what that means. Kevin, 80s keep Iron Rainier. Oh yeah. You never know. You never know these natural things, guys. Whispering Vines, yes, I was close, but not as close as Tomahawk. Am I missing something here, Tomahawk? Were you at St. Helens as well? Oh, 80 Mile. Okay, I'm sorry. Man, I'm spacing out here, guys. 80 Mile kill zone when it had erupted. Gotcha. Whispering Vine Studio. Yes, I was close, but not as close as Tomahawk. Brandon Timberley. What is your favorite childhood memory? Ooh, favorite childhood memory? I got to think about that one. Childhood memory. Oof, that's a tough one. Hey, Mr. Gas, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you. I appreciate you, sir. Appreciate your support. We'll see you next week. Cheers. Hopefully see you next week. Brandon, wow, you stumped me on that one. Favorite, what is my favorite childhood memory? Wow, why am I pulling a blank on that one, guys? I'm gonna have to ponder that, Brandon. Might come to mind. Oh, why is it so dark in here? Why have you guys got the lights off? Let's see if I can shed some light on the situation. Yeah, okay. Hopefully you guys can see me better now. Tomahawk, yes, I was traveling with my grandparents to visit another relative in Washington State. Most of my family lives there, entire West Coast, Arizona, Minnesota, and of course East Coast too. Gotcha. Getting a Daisy Red Ryder and Dad teaching me to shoot it. Daisy Red Ryder, is that that's a pellet gun, right? Yeah, Brandon, I'm still pondering, mate. If my mother's watching, I'm really sorry, Mom, that I can't think of something right now. I'm sure it's right there. Just give me a minute. My childhood was fine, I promise. I'm sure there's lots of good memories, fond memories. I think maybe the freedom I had at a really early age, having leaving South Africa at age 13, and setting off across the Atlantic Ocean and seeing places like Brazil and so on. As a young boy, being able to get somewhere and then just explore. Also in the Caribbean, I guess that's more in my teens. Sailing with my parents, we took several months off and went down island, and we just hopped from bay to bay, dropped anchor. I would swim ashore, go onto the beach, climb a coconut tree, get coconuts. Those were very carefree and happy years, just being a free young boy in some very nice locations. So I guess those are fond memories. That's a childhood memory. Teens, that counts. I love climbing trees. I was always climbing trees, even as a younger person. Climbing trees, getting, wearing a Superman suit and, jumping off the roof to try and fly. I vaguely recall that's probably my earliest memory. Maybe I was like 10 or 9, climbing up on the roof and then tying myself, I think, with belts and rope and wanting to jump off so I could fly. Yeah. Hopefully there's that, Brandon. That's my final answer. Gotcha. Whispering Vine Studio. Catching crawdads in the river with my brother. We spent all day out and Mom would cook them up for dinner. Oh, that sounds delicious. Delicious. I would love to have a massive pot of crawdads right now with some butter and garlic. I'd like to have a bowl of anything right now. Oh, man. That sounds great, Whispering Vine Studio. That's a good one. Yummy crawdads are good. Yeah. It's been a while for me. Maybe in my 20s. I think I may have had crawdads somewhere in the Carolinas. In my 20s at some point. Or was that Louisiana? Yeah, it's been a while. Yum. Or just a giant pot of some kind of seafood, crab claws, shrimp, stone crab. That's another good one from Florida. If you guys have never had a stone crab, man, if you ever get an opportunity to eat stone crab, oof, that is one area I used to spend a lot of money on. Feasting on stone crab. Guys, I'm getting hungry. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. We've been doing this for 2 hours, and I haven't had anything to eat all day. I did eat an apple. Okay, I remember now. I did have an apple. Going to the grandparents and getting to roam the farm. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of, I guess, I'm going to guess a lot of kids from a certain era, fond memories of just being out and doing stuff. Without sounding like an old fart, I'm really glad that I grew up before the smartphone social media thing. I feel a rant coming on. I won't though, guys. I mean, how lucky were we to be able to go outside and just do all this exploring and create all sorts of havoc, because I did create havoc too. I was a little bit of a pyro when I was a young boy. Times where they were too close to structures. And so there are a few mishaps I had as a young boy around making fires. But these are things we did. We went out and we raced our bikes. Oh, I just got a message that from YouTube. Is the signal bad, guys? How's the stream doing? I've got an error message over here. Oops. I think they're shutting us down, guys. They're shutting us down. John Doe, they're shutting us down. Are we good? YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Well, guys, let me know how the stream is doing. All good. All is good, OGW. It froze for a couple seconds. Okay. Okay, good now? Yeah, I'm so glad that I was on the wave before the smartphones, where we got out and we did dangerous stuff. I remember trying to pull my bicycle up onto a roof of a small building, pulling up my BMX on a rope with my friend, and we were going to ride our BMXs off the roof onto the ground. It must have been at least 10 feet, 11 feet. And that didn't go very well. I did damage to my bike and myself. Fortunately, I didn't break anything. I think I sprained an ankle and gouged my shin with a foot pedal. But, you know, we did those things, and we learned the hard way. Okay, that's my old man... That's my old man rant. I'm done. Okay. Still good. All right, guys. I don't know where I was going with that, but I'm glad I got off it. What did I miss? Blizzard of 1978. I jumped off the second-story roof in huge snowdrifts. Landing in snow, I'm guessing. I mean, it's almost refreshing when I ponder the days of not having this thing in my hand. Now, granted, guys, I don't walk around with a phone every day here. I mean, I'm largely separated from having the need to look at a phone. I don't have cellular signal out here. My phone is primarily used for taking pictures and then maybe sharing when I have Starlink going. But walking around not having this brick or device in your pocket or in your hand that constantly beeps at you, sending you notifications, that's not on accident. The whole design behind red little icons appearing at the top of your phone when you allow. I don't allow notifications. Not that I get a lot, but I block everything. I don't allow Facebook notifications, any app notifications. I turn all that stuff. I regularly have to turn stuff off because when these apps update themselves, they quite often just start over again, regardless of what your settings were. So, but can you remember the days where we didn't have to worry about these notifications, things beeping at us, or just what's called doom scrolling? The endless scrolling thing, guys. That's not a design on accident. The sounds with clicking and the little pop-up thumbs, all those pleasant little sounds. This is not all on accident, guys. It's life was just so much better without all these distractions. So much better. I know I sound like an old fart now, but as a generation that was on a cusp of that, as a young man, we started having access to PCs and computer and internet. So I was there just as the change was happening. But it's really quite obnoxious as I sit here streaming, looking at chat. You guys know what I'm talking about, though, right? Right? Tell me I'm not losing it, that you feel the same way. Please tell me. My friend Sam and I got into trouble for cutting our parents' picnic tables to jump our fence dividing our backyards. Cutting our parents' picnic tables. Oh my gosh. Awesome. Kevin did the same. Jumping into snow. Jumped the fence with our dirt bikes. Yeah, that's awesome. Good night, all. Hey, Whispering Vines, thank you. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Good night. It's kind of late. Mr. Ardiford, yes. Hey, Mum, I'll be home by supper time. Yeah. Yep. Sounds like casino machines, addicting. Hey, Jordian, good to see you. Did I miss you, or you just popped in? Thanks for swinging by. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of ranting these last few minutes as I use technology and I complain about it. As it's also the only way I have any kind of income or revenue right now using technology, and yet I complain about it. Yeah, I know we can get into the we can get into the pros and cons. Nah, let's not. Well, Brandon, you're asking the deep questions now. What is my favorite pie? Chevy or Ford? What are you most proud of your childhood? What motivates you to be you? Brandon, man. Okay, that's a lot of questions, a lot of deep questions. Let me try and get through these without droning on for too long. My favorite pie? Well, there's two. Can I have two? They're very similar. Cheesecake. Old school, New York style cheesecake. I don't need any flavorings or any swirls or anything. Just give me a rich, creamy cheesecake / key lime pie. Old school key lime pie. All right. It's a lot like cheesecake, but it just has the lime flavoring. All right. Just solid key lime pie. Nothing. Always. It looks like I disconnected there for a while, guys. Let me know. How's the stream doing? Are we okay? My OBS software just disconnected and reconnected. Let me know where were we. I was talking about pie, and then I was talking about Chevy and Ford. I don't care as long as it's running and it doesn't break down every few months. That's my favorite. Vehicle. A running one that runs. I'm kind of partial to Japanese trucks just because they seem to last longer and run better. Don't hate on me, guys. But ultimately, it's about I'm a fan of vehicles that run and don't have to be fixed. I don't really have a horse in that race. Mind you, I do like old Fords, the old classic Ford trucks. They do look cool. I'm assuming you're talking about trucks. I've had a lot of Chevy trucks lately, and they do break down. Door handles break, windows stop moving, dashboard falls apart, dash liner falls out. I haven't had an old Ford pickup truck. All my old trucks in recent years have been Chevys, and they're always falling apart. Okay, what are you most proud of in your childhood? I don't... Again, Brandon, I don't want to sound cheesy, but I don't... I largely don't sort of dwell in the pride, like old school pride, or be... I kind of avoid anything to do with pride or being proud. But if I must go back into as a child, what was I proud of? I was pretty athletic. And when I was a young boy, I did, before I left school to travel across the Atlantic on a small sailboat, I was pretty competitive in all sports, rugby, athletics, swimming, and I excelled in all of them. I think the 1 year, just before I left school, what we call primary school, or was first year high school, I got the athletes of the year and the swimmer of the year in the same year. And so I guess maybe if I have to answer you as far as childhood goes, I mean, that's nice. In schools, at least in South Africa, we have these big halls where you have your meetings, and all the athletes over the years, their names go up on these big wooden boards with gold lettering. So you can see going back to the beginning of the school, who got what awards for athletics. So I guess, it's nice to have my name twice there the same year for, don't want to go down that road too much. But talking about childhood and maybe, I was competitive. I've always enjoyed sports. What was the other one there? What motivates you to be you? I don't, again, I don't want to sound mysterious or weird, but there is nothing about me as a person that motivates me to be that special person. I think, again, I'm going to lean into orthodoxy and finding Christian orthodoxy. What motivates me just to be a good person, or attempt to be a good, clean living, honest person, would be, you know, my orthodox beliefs. There's nothing, you know, I mean, in the context of maybe living like I do, being off-grid and being as self-sufficient as possible, and living a very simple life with less. I mean, I started off wanting to be a minimalist and have very little. I laugh at that now because you actually need quite a bit to make things happen, specifically tools and stuff to get through this kind of lifestyle, make it through winters. There's things you need. And I found I came into this with a minimalist mindset, but things have been acquired. Am I going off in the weeds? I think so, maybe a little bit. What motivates me in this lifestyle was less is more, living simply. I would say probably I just like to punish myself. I enjoy punishment. I know, I'm not actually kidding. For some reason, hardship and making things difficult is how I sometimes feel alive. Yeah, I'm definitely going into the weeds. I'm just trying to answer your question comprehensively, Brandon. What motivates me just to be me and continue? It's not really about me. Nothing is about me. Yeah, nothing is about me. Okay. I'll switch quickly before I get too into the weeds. But thanks for the question, Brandon. There's a few zingers over there. Well, they shouldn't be zingers, but, you know, I guess I have some different takes on some topics. John Doe, I work on computer screens all week long, but feel the same way about technology. Yeah, it's very addictive. It is definitely, technology is, and we're seeing it, and there's lots of data to support the addictiveness of technology, which is very separate to being reliant on it or relying on it or using it in the workplace. I'm talking, there is a dark side, the addictive side of technology that, again, there's data already. I know it's still early, but there is data on how it's affecting, you know, the human psychology. Mr. Artiford, nighty night, folks. All have a great week. Pecan pie. P.S. Pecan pie. Pecan pie is good. See you, Mr. Artiford. Good to see you. Tomahawk, New York style pizza pie is my favorite. Pizza pie. I was thinking about dessert pie, Brandon. I assumed you're talking about dessert pie. When it comes to other pies besides dessert, it's going to be a big fat meat pie. I don't think meat pies are popular in the States, but you find them in other countries. You know, a big, like a pot pie. I think you call them pot pies. The type that you bake in an oven. That's my kind of meat pie. Yeah, a chicken pot pie, or a nice, like a beef and kidney pie, or a curry pie that's done or baked in a pot pie. I know, that's a lot of pie talk there. Okay, little blip, good now. Ford, freaking old rebuilt Dodge. Is that what Ford stands for, huh? Chevy, never had a problem with them except the Eurosport. John Doe, Brandon Timberley, are you updating his dossier with this? Yeah, geez, those are some heavy ones. I'm gonna have to say no more if you start asking me my shoe size, Brandon. Okay. Tomok, my first deer kill was a proud moment. Yeah. How old were you, young boy, Tomahawk? Hotel Alpha Alpha, John Doe. That's funny. Yeah. Kevin, shepherd's pie. Oh, it's been a while. Shepherd's pie. I don't think a lot of people are going to know what shepherd's pie is, Kevin. Shepherd's pie is a very popular, how shall we say it? What's the correct terminology to use nowadays? It's a very popular Anglo-Saxon meal. It's like a ground beef, peas, potato, carrots, baked into like a large tray with, baked. So it's quite meaty and hearty. It's kind of like a beef stew in a pie. Brandon Timley, what would be your perfect meal? Do you prefer hunting or fishing? Brandon, man, I used to do quite a bit of hunting and fishing. For some reason, the last couple years, hunting has kind of fallen by the wayside. This year, winter hunting or just pre-winter hunting, I'm probably going to take something because last winter was a little lean on the winter side. Getting through winter with no employment, no income, and no critters in the fridge was not ideal. So this year we'll probably take something. I enjoy fishing. I fish a lot. Well, let's change that. In the recent months that I've gone fishing, I've done fishing, but not a lot of catching. I think people who know the stream, watch the stream often, are probably thinking, "Man, this guy's got a lot of excuses about his fishing now." But I do need to fish more. I do have good fishing around here, but this season's been a little lackluster. So I feel bad saying what I prefer, hunting or fishing. Both are fine. I probably lean into fishing. When it comes to hunting, I like small game. I'm kind of hesitating and humming and ahhing because I don't have large refrigeration. That's the bottom line, Brandon. So when I take a critter, I've got to think about storage. So that's why I talk about winter. Things need to be cool. And also, I don't have a deep refrigerator or a freezer. I have a very small cooler. It's literally like this size, smaller. And so as far as keeping meats and fish, I typically take what I can process and eat in a couple days. That's how I've been living for the last couple years. 3.5, almost 4 years, 3.5 years. So it's really about what I can refrigerate and the time of the year. So if I catch something, I eat it same day. That's how I roll. I don't really have a preference. I probably lean more into fishing and just small game hunting in general, like grass. I love birds. Yeah. John Doe, pies are supposed to be sweet, lol. John Doe, need an elk tag. Yeah, I mean, I need a lot. You guys have heard me whining about getting a license, a fishing license and game license. It needs to happen. It's just every time I think I'm going to get one, something comes up. It's like groceries or something breaks, or I'm thinking about getting the shock for my snowmobile. I don't want to sound whiny, guys, but that's how it rolls with me. So I'm always prioritizing, where my $50 or $70 goes. Okay. Well, guys, man, we've been going here. I thought this was going to be a short one since everybody was on holiday and vacation with parents. Brandon, those are some good questions. Please send me the profile that you've built. I'm curious. I'm curious what your analysis is. No problems, Brandon. Thanks for the questions. And oh yeah, there we go, tomahawk. I was 12 years old hunting with uncle and stepdad. Yeah, it's a big deal, guys. Big deal taking an animal, especially as a young boy. That's an awesome experience. More people and young men, young boys need to understand the process of food, the effort it takes to get it, the respect one needs to have when you take it, the processing of it, the process of getting that live animal into your stomach. It's I wish more people understood that. And if you can start as a young boy, or start your grandson or your son, you need to do that. Even if it's not something you do and you'd like to, go do it with your boy. Oh, and hang on. What would be my perfect meal? I forgot, Brandon. I'm a bit of a sushi fan. I'm definitely a meat guy. But I really do enjoy fresh fish. And maybe that's because I grew up out in the ocean catching fish. I mean, we'd literally haul up a big tuna onto the boat, onto the sailboat, and, just cut a few slivers of that tuna. I mean, it's still kind of moving, and cut a few very thin slices of that tuna and eat it. I love fresh fish. I'm a bit of a stickler when it comes to. I know what fresh fish is, and I really do enjoy sushi and Asian cuisine in general. I enjoy. So I would say a fantastic sushi evening somewhere really nice with really high grade fresh sushi. And of course, that's difficult to find, like when you're in the middle of the country. If you're going to convince me I'm eating something fresh, I definitely need to be staring at the ocean. Otherwise, I know it's not fresh. But you get the idea. Sushi, probably my favorite cuisine or meal. I'm sure I have a lot of mercury poisoning in my my gut, but don't worry. I've had my horse dewormer, guys. I'm good. No parasites. That's the only downside of eating a lot of raw fish. It can be a little sketch with picking up, the crawlies in your gut lining after years of eating raw fish. Okay. Have a good night and week, OGW. Be safe, and good Lord willing, we'll see you next week. Live stream. Very good stream tonight. Thank you, Kevin, man. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for the kind words. Oh, I said we're going to end the stream, and then I got off on a tangent again. Thanks, Brandon. All right, Jundo, get your hands in a steaming gut pile. Or, even better, have your dog find an old rancid gut pile during hunting season that the hunters leave all over the place, primarily along roadways where my dogs like to run. And have your dog roll around in a week-old rotten gut pile. That's fun too. Okay. Tomahawk, have a good night. Okay, guys, I think we're going to call it quits. It's been way longer than what I thought. Thank you for hanging out with me, and thank you for listening to me not speak at the beginning of the stream. I think I'm going to have to remind myself to keep an eye on the front of the newer chat when I open up. But thank you, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Tomahawk, thank you, sir. Ranger's been outside whining for some time now. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but he's been out there whining for some time. So.